Hey guys, welcome back to One Else Pub. Well, as you can tell by the box in front of you, the title below you, and if you follow me on Instagram by the pictures I've been posting all day, I've got a new Hinderer. As some of you probably know, I sent my Spanto 3.5-inch flipper to the Apostle P, to Rob, for him to review and kind of give it a little test drive and see if he was interested in getting a Hinderer. That along with my Strider S&G. And if you have not gone over to Rob's channel, the Apostle P channel, and checked out those two reviews of those two knives, you should definitely do it. I'll put a link right about here. And go ahead and check those out. Two excellent reviews on those knives. Highly recommend them. Anyway, so, I'd loaned my Hinderer off to Rob, and I was beside myself. I didn't have a Hinderer. what was I going to do? I had to get another one or do something. Yeah, okay, sure. I had, the other two, my 3-inch and my other 3.5-inch Spanto, but that's not the point. The point is I need another one because I didn't have my third one because Rob had it, and that's fine. That's completely normal. I'm fine. Don't judge me. I don't need an intervention. Just shut up. Anyway, let's move along. Anyway, so I picked up another XM-18. Here it is. So let's take a look at it. I'm fine. Shut up. Okay, here it is. By the way, in case you ever wanted to see what tactical peanuts look like, there they are. Much sought after in the Hinderer secondary market. Does it have the box? Does it have the peanuts? Yes, it does. Questions people ask when you're selling these things. All right, here we go. XM-18 3.5-inch. OD green G10, my favorite color of G10 on these things. You can tell it's a Gen 4 by the logos. CPM S35 VN. Stonewashed lockside, stonewashed blade. So what makes this one different than the other three that I have? By the way, in order to get this guy, I did sell one of my Spantos, my other S35 VN Gen 4 one. Shipped that out today, same day this one arrived. So what makes this different? Well, you may already be able to tell if you have a keen eye for detail, but yeah, the Wharncliffe. The Wharncliffe grind, the newest production grind from Hinderer. Just out this year. I think it was over the summer. I can't remember exactly when. I think it was after Blade that it came out. But I don't know. I don't remember for sure. But it has not been out for long. And it has been, over the last several months, commanding a serious premium in the Hinderer secondary market. Still the same, table price that Rick Hinderer always charges for them, for any of his knives, his production knives. But in the secondary market, these things were going crazy. Crazy for a while. And I just stayed off of them because there was, no way I was going to go that crazy. But over the last month or so, 6 weeks maybe, I've seen them coming down to more normal Hinderer secondary market prices, which is still pretty rapey, frankly. But anyway, so I got a chance to take a stab at one, and I decided to go ahead and do it. Like I said, I had my Spanto in Indiana with Rob, and him and I had been talking back and forth, during the course of the time he'd had it last week, about the review and what he thought of the knife and whatnot. And this one came up, and I had an opportunity to get it, and I was kind of hemming and hawing, and Rob was gently prodding me along, let's say, so I can blame him. So, see, I don't have a problem. It's Rob's fault. Anyway, so I went ahead and picked this guy up, and I just wanted to kind of show him off a little bit and talk a little bit about this Wharncliffe blade. The Wharncliffe is such a unique blade shape. Now, number one, I'm a huge Wharncliffe fan. I just love the blade shape in general. On pretty much anything, I dig a Wharncliffe, just because it's something different, something unique, and something novel. I do like the straight edge. I think it's got great cutting utility for sure. But It's really in many cases the Wharncliffe. I just think it's got a cool look to it, and I'm just drawn to it for whatever reason. That said, on the Hinderer, for whatever reason, I wasn't as drawn to it, and I think it's because I am such a Wharncliffe fan that I was just, I'm being a little hypercritical and overthinking things a little bit, and I was just, as I saw these things come out brand new, I thought to myself, oh wow, that's awesome. I'd certainly seen the custom versions, online, of his Wharncliffes, and when the production came out, I was, my first reaction was, oh my gosh, love it, need it, gotta have it. And then as the prices hit really big, I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna get one of those. That's just crazy. I think maybe I started to be a little bit more. Started to seek out reasons not to like it a little bit, and I said to myself, well, it's okay that I don't have one of those because, the Wharncliffe blade on the Hinderer, the blade to handle ratio maybe is a little off on it because of the way it trails down this way, and in the pictures I'd seen of it, and I'd seen several pictures of it that weren't at the most flattering angle, and it made the blade kind of look small in the handle. I thought to myself, I don't need one of those. I'm good. Of course, in the back of my brain, this nagging, little thing kept going off and kept saying, this voice kept saying to me, yeah, but you're a huge Wharncliffe fan. You're a huge Hinderer fan. You pretty much got to have one of these, don't you? And I kept looking for an excuse and saying, nah, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know that I want this one or not. Anyway, given the chance and at a good price, secondary market price, that is, I went ahead and snagged one, and wow, let me just say, in person, all that concern about blade to handle ratio and the handle looking too big for the blade or the blade being too small for the handle or all that just absolutely melts away. The knife just looks fabulous. It's got just beautiful lines, beautiful ratios. Everything about it's just awesome. Look at that. I don't. It's odd now because now when I think back, that I'm looking at it in person, I'm trying to think back to what I'd seen online that had kind of given me that impression, and because I just don't see it in person, so it's just strange. I don't know if it was just a justification in my brain because I didn't think I could afford to get one, so I was just trying to find a reason not to like it, or what. But at any rate, in person, absolutely fantastic lines and proportions. So glad I went ahead and listened to Rob's advice. Anyway, cool knife. Love the Wharncliffe shape. If you've watched my channel at all, if you've seen the other knives many of the other knives I have, I've got kind of a thing for Wharncliffes. I've got everything from my little Fellholter Fricky folder, which is kind of a sheep's foot Wharncliffe, to my Ojimbo 2, which actually, in order to fund this guy, I sold to a buddy of mine, or my Spyderco Southern. It's a sheep's foot kind of Wharncliffe modified version of that. The new ZT0770, same thing, another modified Wharncliffe / sheep's foot. Heck, the Chris Reeves Semenza 21 and single that I have and dearly love, modified Wharncliffe sheep's foot. I mean, I'm just drawn to that blade shape in many ways. And this one, of course, is kind of more of a classic true Wharncliffe with this, with the straight cutting edge. Whereas the others, the Insingo and the 0770 and this other, they all kind of have a little bit of belly to them. This one's just, your straight razor kind of deal, and I really just dig that. I really do. Great addition to my Hinderer Herd here. With this comes kind of the completion in many ways now of, at least so far, who knows what their next production blade's going to be, if they come out with a production Hellfire or a production Aggressor or production, what's the other one? The Skinner. Yeah, that's a cool one. I'm naming off various different custom Hinderer grinds that I like. So who knows in the future what they'll come out with, so this may change. But as of now, I have all 3 production grinds, because I have, here I got my Wharncliffe, my Spanto also, and then I have on the 3-inch, I have a slicer. I have both sizes of the XM-18, the 3-inch and the 3.5-inch, parenthetically, the XM-24, I realize is the third size really of the XM series, but it's not really anything I'm interested in. It's just quite a bit bigger than a knife than I care for the most part, so I don't really see myself ever getting one. And technically it's an XM-24, not an XM-18, so I'm going to hang my hat on that technicality. So both sizes of the XM-18 and also all three steels. My S35VN here on my Wharncliffe. My Spanto has CTS XHP, and my slicer, my little 3-inch, has the Duratec 20CV. So I've kind of got the entire collection there, all the various sizes and shapes and offerings and steels and whatnot that they have now. So it really kind of completes my collection. So that's another kind of cool thing about going ahead and pulling the trigger on this guy and picking it up. Really enjoying this, and I think this one will probably be a keeper. I've kind of floated through several others. I've had that little 3-inch. Once I got that was a keeper, and then the Spanto with the XHP was like the second or third Hinderer I ever got, and I've had that through all the other iterations. This is number 10. I've sold the other, I guess, 8, 7. So yeah, whatever. So I do sell. I get them, and I try them for a while, and I sell them off. And I was just kind of looking for exactly what I wanted and whatnot, and I found it in the small one and in my 3-inch and in my 3.5-inch Spanto, my 3-inch slicer, my 3.5-inch Spanto. And now I think this guy in the 3.5-inch with the Wharncliffe blade really kind of is the third musketeer here. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. The Hinderer Herd I will officially call complete until they add a new grind. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. All right. Anyway, like I said, I don't have a problem. Shut up. And thanks for watching. That's 1 2 cents. Keep the change. Sláinte.